live stream. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. I was in here yesterday. Now we have an amazing lady with us today. We've got Ali. Give Ali a wave and be nice and friendly to her. Now I came in yesterday and I talked up this lady because she is no, Ali, do you know what I love is that you're always smiling. Despite what you've been through, you actually live and breathe what you talk about, what you do now, because you bring a lot of light. And I really love that. So Ali is a transformation coach. She's a motivational speaker, an author, a podcast host, and now is a complete lover of life. Now, you guys, if you're watching live, you can ask Ali questions as we go along. Maybe there's something you want to comment on. That would be awesome. If you watch on the replay, let us know, #replay, that you are our replayers. We always like to know how far and wide our lives reach and whether they're of value to you. We don't want to keep bringing you people if you don't think it's of value to you. So Ali has survived a lot of things. So domestic violence, workplace bullying, and sexual harassment, really topical things. And a lot of this is happening in the workplace. It would be interesting actually to see the statistics now where people have been working from home as to whether the workplace bullying is still an issue. I haven't actually looked into anything like that. But also you've had depression, you've had anxiety, you have PTSD, which everyone knows I suffer with, suicidal tendencies, and a real loss of identity, which is a massive one. But now you help women come from darkness to light, don't you?
I do. First of all, thanks for having me, Nikki. And I have to say to everyone that I had a presentation planned today, but everything fell into the pit just before coming live and my internet died. So I'm going live on my phone. So we're just winging it today. But yeah, so sorry, now I've said all that. I forgot what your question was.
No, I was just saying now, after all you've been through,
yeah,
I feel like now to be able to help women come through what you've been through, because I know for me, when I talk about my PTSD and I'm quite open about it, I would never wish this upon my worst enemy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, for me, my PTSD in itself is actually, you could call it quite recent, because it was only 2017 that I was diagnosed with it. So for me to now, in 2021, and I've been doing this since the beginning of 2020, to come and speak about it, like you say, so openly, is something that I never thought that I'd be able to do. However, I'm going to say at the same time, that I've experienced so much, and you'll hear a little bit about that today, is that, I've always had, and it's really difficult to explain, I've always had this kind of thought in the back of my mind that everything that I was going through and surviving through, which is a very important phrase, I knew I was going to take it somehow and help women who are going through and have been through similar situations. I never knew what that was until last year. So now to be able to come and talk about it so freely, it's not to say that sometimes I don't get emotional over, and I'm sure you can understand, Nikki, I do too. But I love the fact that I can come and talk freely about it, and the fact in that help other women to overcome what they're going through as well. So it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do so, actually. And someone described me the other day who met me in late 2017. She described me as, she said, I remember when I first met you, Ali, you were like a little shy mouse hiding in a corner. And that's not who I am. That's not me naturally, but that's who I was back then. So to even come now and do interviews and lives and talks like this is huge. And I'm proud. I'm not gonna lie, I'm proud, but I love what I do. I have a passion for it and the people I help.
Oh, that's beautiful. And look, the thing is that Ali and I do very similar work. So Ali works as a transformation coach. I do the same, but more in relation to business, and then obviously out of business, what we want our life to look like. But we're not here to be your treating psychologist, your doctor, your psychiatrist. And it's really important that people understand that. But when you've been with somebody who's been with it, been through it. Because the biggest thing I always have said is you don't understand. You know,
Yes.
you don't understand. Because even someone who treats it, they've seen many people go through it, but they've never actually been through it. And so tell us about your program. What do you actually do with women?
So yeah, I've gone through a little bit of a shift actually. I started last year working in personal coaching with women, and as I said, I was helping people mostly in their confidence and their mindset and overcoming what they've been through. You know, helping them rediscover their voice, confidence, and strength within themselves. Often when we've gone through these particular things, we don't recognise the strength that we have had to draw on to be able to come through it. And we feel like, you know, we've lost our confidence, we've lost our voice to be able to speak up for ourselves. So last year I was very much working in the space of personal coaching, and I was helping women in that area. Now I've brought in a little bit of a different aspect of it this year, and now I'm helping women who are in business as well. So if you're in business, if you're not in business, you know, I'm happy to help you. And the reason for that is because part of that vision, particularly when, you know, I have been a single mum, I've had to create, and you would get this, Nikki, I've had to create my own income. When I lost my job from workplace bullying, sexual harassment, I had to create my own income again. So I decided to start a business. And when you are in that, not a good mental place, you need to be able to build that confidence. Right? You need to have the motivation. When you get your mindset right and the confidence in your mindset right, then you can have the motivation, which is what we're here to talk about today. You have the motivation to be able to create the plan and create the goal for your life. And that's when in business, the marketing side comes into it as well. So now, as well as teaching on, you know, motivation, on confidence, strength, and finding your voice, I also teach on the motivation part, the mindset part, but the marketing part as well. So it's more bringing into the business aspect, which I love. I love that, and that was always my ultimate goal. And now I'm able to do it. So again, you know, something else that I never dreamed that I would be achieving, and here I am achieving it. So encouragement to all you ladies out there who are watching this and you also want to do something like this. If you're not thinking it's possible, if you're not feeling that you're strong, you are. You've got it in you to do it, because I'm a testament to that. Nikki's a testament to that.
Absolutely. And the thing is, guys, is that like we love helping others. And, you know, despite, you know, struggles, we're both single moms. You know, we've been through that. And, you know, sometimes I'm very proud of my single mum badge.
Me too.
This morning, I tell you what, Harper was playing, you know, we've got these zones at the moment. So there's the blue zone, which is, you know, I'm feeling a bit sick and sad and tired. Then there's the green zone, which is the happy zone. We should all be there. And then there's the yellow zone when we start getting a little bit cheeky, a little bit, you know, mischievous and starting to get a bit ratty, basically. And then we've got the red zone where it's just pure anger. Well, we were in the red zone this morning and we were in the red zone yesterday, and I'm just like, oh my God, I remember saying at like 9 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock and we're already in the red zone. God, freaking help me.
I laugh because my children are adults. So my son turned 27 yesterday, actually, and we still have red zones. all the time. Not yesterday because it was his birthday, but still.
Oh, that's hilarious. Now, I would really love to know, like you've talked a little bit about the journey. So just to take it out for people, what journey do you take people on? When they normally come to you, where are they at?
So they're really at the point where they're, like I say, they have this dream, they have this goal, they have this desire to want to either start a business or improve the business that they have. And like I said, they're in a place where they've got very little confidence in themselves. They're probably hiding from fear of judgment. And, you know, depending if you've been through some similar circumstances, you know, to me and to you, so the domestic violence, the PTSD, all that type of stuff, like I said, you will question yourself all the time. You are, because you have been in that place of judgment from others, you're scared to put yourself in that place again. So what I do is, you know, is I will take people, like I said, from that place of fear. So they're, you know, it's kind of like, so many ladies say this to me. It's like, do you know what? I'll start my business when I have my website up and running. I'll do my lives on Facebook when I've lost enough weight, or when my hair's looking perfect, or when, you know, when my makeup's looking okay today, or I'll make those products when I'm feeling okay, when I have a good day, right? Now, and the irony of that is this is where the motivation comes into it, is if we don't motivate ourselves to do that, then the confidence doesn't grow. And then we don't become more motivated, and we continue to hide. So it's kind of like a vicious cycle. You know, can you relate to that, Nikki?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, it always, it is, you know, you make a decision, you draw a line in the sand, and that's when you decide to step over. Really important. But Ali's saying, and I totally agree, when you've actually come from that kind of background, where you have had judgment, where you have had somebody coming over the top of you, where you've had, you know, mental illness, sometimes you question yourself and you question your ability to make those decisions.
Absolutely.
You might have this dream of what you want, but, you know, it's very hard to sort of draw the line and step over. And so that's what, you know, you find a coach to help you do. So yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, and it was this, I heard one of my mentors the other day. I was watching a training of his, and what he came up with was this quote, and it hit me. It was like, we are only motivated to do the things that we value. Right. So, you know, if you are trying to start a business and you've just tried to start it for the sake of starting it, which was when I started in business in 2018, I started as a VA, but I was only starting as a VA because I thought that that's all I was capable of. I'd come from an administration job. I thought being a VA was going to be admin. It was totally the opposite. But that's what I thought, that I was only capable of doing. And because I didn't value that, like, it wasn't my dream, it wasn't my goal, I wasn't motivated to do it, right? But when you're living in that value, when you've got something that an ultimate dream, an ultimate desire, a business that you want to grow, that's when you become automatically motivated to continue, and you'll become motivated to do. And something that my partner and I said to each other when I decided to start in business was, do whatever it takes, right? That's not to say that I haven't had moments where there's been, you know, like, oh God, you know, a little bit discouraged, a little bit, my confidence is waning, all that type of stuff. But it all comes back to that confidence for myself, and my partner helping me and saying, we are going to do whatever it takes. That's part of the motivation. It's the support, not only from, you know, if you're lucky enough to have a significant other, but from lots of other people around you, like support from you, you know, support from our mentor, all types of support that we need from fellow businesswomen. And that's something else that I provide for my clients, is ongoing support in all those areas, right? Mindset, motivation, and marketing.
Totally love that. And I remember a story of my son's going to come to me and say, can I please eat this junk food? So
in the red zone.
Yeah, no, he's in the green zone, but you're going to hear like the wrapper, because I'm just like, mummy's busy. So yeah, mum of the year, here's your iPad. Here's your junk food. And there was someone in my past, it's a male, and he actually wanted to apply for a new job. I'm just going to mute while I crackle.
Cool. I love it. I miss having my kids at home. They may be in their 20s, but I miss having my babies. It might seem weird, but I do. Very funny.
I can't get open. All right, I got it. Yes, so he was somebody who'd come from a, probably a poor upbringing, like not poor in terms of poor money-wise, but more from a, wasn't supported, very much judged through his childhood. And so he wanted to apply for a new job. And so he had, a few different, I found a few different jobs that he could apply for. There's like 3 different jobs. And he said, oh, wow, this is that one looks like it's my dream job. But I think I'll apply for this 3rd one. And I said, well, why would you do that if your dream job is the 3rd one? And the 1st one. And he said, well, I know that I could get the 3rd one.
Ah, right. So, that's interesting.
Yeah. So he was too scared to apply for the job that he really wanted. Instead, he went for the one that he knew he could get, even though he didn't want to do it. So how many times in life do we start doing things that we don't want to do because that's all we think we're capable of?
So many things. Exactly. Like I said, like me becoming a VA. Also, I have done it several times where, even though I made the decision that I was going to run my own business, and I, like I said, I wasn't really sure, I wasn't happy being a VA, and I knew I wanted to do something to help women in the area of confidence. But because I was doubting myself, I would get offered part-time jobs, and there was twice this happened. I got offered a part-time role, and because at the time, I was still working on recovering from the PTSD, the anxiety and depression. I did not have enough belief in myself yet. And just like that person in your life, I did the same. I went for the easy option. And I went to those part-time jobs while still trying to run my business. And what happened was both times, actually, I would get symptoms of anxiety come back again, and that PTSD. It was nothing to do with the people in those, the people in those positions. They were beautiful. They were lovely people. It was me, right? I deep down knew that I was capable of more and that I wanted more for myself. And it was also the office environment triggering me, taking me back to what I had come out of. And it wasn't, so the first time it happened, it was like, oh, okay, that's all right, I'll just quit, I'll go back to doing what I'm doing. The second time it happened, I really started to question and go, well, I really, is going back to work something that I really want to do? And the honest to God truth is no. I didn't want to work in an office again. I couldn't, my anxiety would rear up every time I walked into that corporate environment. So I made the decision to get better and run my own business. And I haven't looked back since. We all have the ebbs and flows. Everybody has the ups and downs of business, of life, the emotions, but we can learn something every single time from them. And that's part of keeping yourself motivated, is learning from, and I hate this word mistakes. I try not to, I use it to teach, but I would prefer to see them as learning experiences, stuff that we learn from. Because, and failures is another word I hate. Mistakes and failures I don't like, because we can learn from every single opportunity. And so I learned from going back to those part-time jobs that, that wasn't something I wanted to do. So that motivated me, like beyond what I could see. Did I know how I was going to start a business? Did I know what I was going to do? No, I didn't. But it motivated me to keep going. That was, a decision, a firm decision that I had to make. And still I had to continue to work on my confidence to be able to come do these lives, to do all the things that I needed to do in business. And now teach women online. It's wonderful. So it's been a journey.
So what does it feel like now to be a confident and empowered woman?
Oh, friggin' amazing. Friggin', I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, I mean, when that lady said to me, and she's a dear friend of mine, she said to me, you know, like I said, when I met you, Ali, you were a mouse hiding in the corner. And part of me wanted to get offended about that. But the bigger part of me went, oh, you know what? I have come a long way. The bigger part of me was proud of what I have achieved in what can really be a very short space of time. You know, there's been, you know, like you mentioned, it wasn't just that workplace situation. So I've had 2 marriages, both of them were domestically violent, right? I was sexually abused at 16 years old by my first boyfriend. So there's been, and I don't just, you know, I can say that it's still not easy to say, but I can share it in the hopes of helping other women. So there's been a lot of times when I've really had to, you know, overcome shyness and overcome the anxiety that comes and the depression that comes with those situations to, you know, like you said, now come here, use my story. And like you said before, you know, I love that you said you've gone to people and said, but you don't understand. You know, can't tell you how many clients I have had that have said to me, Ali, you just get me. You get where I'm at. Whether it's excuse me, whether it's life or business, they say you just get me because you've been there. And it's in a weird way, I'm proud to have been there. I'm proud to have survived it. And I'm really proud to now be helping women who have gone through similar things and need the help. That's what I'm here to do from my heart.
Getting lots of love hearts in the chat, so that's nice.
Oh, love. I can't see the chat.
Give us a 5 in the comments if you know, like you've come from either, you know, domestic violence, or whether you understand mental health, because you've had some issues with mental health, which, do you know what? It's something that probably 99% of the population have had, and they might not realize it. So give us a 5 in the comments if you've dealt with any of those kinds of things and come out the other side, or maybe you're still there. People like Ali and I are always there to cheer you on, because life is better on the other side, isn't it, Ali?
Oh, it sure is. It is better on the other side. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt.
PTSD for me is something that is still ongoing. So I'm still, you know, going through the processes of, you know, it's years and years of trauma that we're trying to sort of overcome. And mine's from my time in when you're live.
I love it.
So, Ali, I've loved having you on. Is there anything else you would like to share? Have you got something coming up that maybe people can jump on if they would like to?
No, first of all, I would love to say to everybody that if there is anyone out there who's just feeling, you know, that they're not motivated, that they have that lack of confidence, that they need that motivation, what I'm going to suggest to you is to make a decision. If you haven't already, make a firm decision that you want to learn and to grow and to improve your situation. And I think most of us will be happy to make that decision. Then it's a point of taking the action. And, you know, I know that there's a lot of times when we're in that situation and we feel like giving up. Like I've been at the situation several times when I felt like giving up, but don't give up. Do not give up, because it's when you get to that place of feeling like you want to give up that there's something amazing just around the corner for you. So I want to encourage you, keep going, right? Talk to whoever you need to build your confidence, to get that motivation in your life. To answer your other question, yes, I have a workshop actually coming up tomorrow. So this is perfect timing. It is for business ladies, and it's called Breakthrough from Fear to Fierce. And this is, if you are at the point where, you know, you're scared, you have a fear of putting yourself out there in business for whatever reason. If you would like to come to that, I'll offer you a free ticket. You can come. There are prizes we're giving away to people. I'd love to have you there. It's at 9:30 tomorrow morning, Adelaide time, that is. So let us know in the chat if you'd like to come to that. And being as it's late notice, I know that, you know, a lot of people might not be able to make it to that, but if you can't make it to that, just let me know, and we'll have a chat. Let's just have a chat in person if you can't come to the workshop itself. But my heart is to help you if you would like it.
Beautiful. And I think one thing, guys and girls, there is a lot to say about getting in and being amongst people who are better than you, who in terms of maybe they've been and gone first, they've gone through.
Yeah.
One of my beautiful coaches was just on earlier. So hi to Mary. You know, I sign up for different things so that I can meet new people. I can meet people which have a different bounce in their step. There are so many Facebook groups that people are in for these types of things, because I'm in them too, and they're so negative. They really and look, you know, I totally understand where people are at, but try and actually make the decision to be amongst people who have made a decision to get better. Really, really important to be able to do that. So you have the opportunity to jump on Ali's, is it a masterclass tomorrow? Or
it is a masterclass. It's an interactive webinar, so it's live on Zoom. So it's, yes, you know, it's not just me talking, you get to talk back too. So it's fun. We have lots of fun.
Good. So if you would like to be on that, just comment webinar in the chat here, and we will get you the details to jump on Ali's interactive masterclass tomorrow. Ali, thank you so much. I know you had some issues with your internet, but you're a trooper and you're still here. And you know what? I've not ever seen you not smiling. So I really have loved that. And do you know what, guys? Ali and I have never met in person, but we both made a decision to go into certain groups where we could become better, where we could be mentored, where we could be coached. And that's how we've met. And I'm truly blessed to have met Ali. So look at that beautiful smile. Who wouldn't want that in their life?
So I shouldn't cover it up, should I?
You shouldn't cover it up at all. So all right, guys, so there you go. Thank you, Ali, for all your time, and good luck with your masterclass tomorrow. Don't forget, guys, we have a webinar tonight for those that are in the network marketing, direct sales or MLM field, talking about why network marketing, why now. And that is completely generic. It's not about any type of company. And then next week we have our Living an Inspired Life Masterclass as well, which is similar to like Alice. You jump on with me and we get coached through that, and you come up with a bit of a treasure map for your own life. So yeah, get amongst it. There's lots of things that you can be involved in. And yes, I'm very, very pleased to have had Ali to show off to you today.
Thank you, gorgeous. And thank you for bearing with my technical issues, but we got through it. Yay.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing day.
Everybody.